The woman, in order to kill her husband who had betrayed her, proposed going on a car trip together. During the trip, using photography as an excuse, she asked him to accompany her to a specific place. The man was gradually guided to the edge of a cliff. Just as he was distracted, admiring the scenery, the woman silently raised her arm, ready to act. But an accident occurred. An older woman happened to pass by, completely ruining her plan. Seeing the elderly woman, her husband immediately ran to help her fix her car. She knew she had completely missed this opportunity. She had to quickly find another chance. While rafting, she pulled out a knife and cut the strap around her husband's ankle. Then she pretended to sit casually on the other side. She watched her husband put his foot back into the strap. She tried to push her husband into the river to drown him. When the boat reached the strongest current in the river, her husband really fell into the water. She pretended to try to rescue him, but unexpectedly, a huge wave swept her into the water as well. To her surprise, her husband didn't hesitate to dive in and save her. That evening, while having dinner together to celebrate surviving, she began to waver, even considering abandoning her plan for revenge. But that same night, she happened to see her husband on the phone with another woman. At that moment, she made her final decision. The next morning, they prepared to go hiking in the forest as planned. Before setting off, a woman called out to them. When they looked up, her heart immediately tightened. This woman was the same person she had seen on her husband's phone before. When her husband saw her, he immediately became nervous. He hurriedly explained it was just a colleague relationship, but the woman approached and naturally hugged him. At that moment, a tall man walked over. The woman introduced him as her boyfriend. The four of them had no choice but to enter the forest together. After crossing a shaky suspension bridge, she inadvertently looked back and saw her husband and the woman closely leaning together, seemingly whispering something. She tried to remain calm, then began to ask questions, but her husband responded in a stammering manner, avoiding her gaze. She knew very well that they were more than just ordinary colleagues, and that this meeting was not a coincidence, but carefully planned. When they reached the river, the woman suggested taking a bath and started undressing. Her husband said he needed to go to the restroom and hurried off, but unexpectedly fell into a roadside pit. The woman immediately ran to him, then crouched by the pit, concerned about his injuries. Standing aside watching this, her gaze grew colder. Because her husband was injured, they had to cancel the hike. The four returned to the hotel early. That night, after drinking together, they each returned to their rooms. She could no longer control her anger, and began arguing and quarreling with her husband. But her husband did not want to continue the argument. He grabbed a jacket and slammed the door. Leaving, he went alone to a bar to drink. After he left, she found her husband's phone. On the screen, she saw a message from another woman, mentioning a meeting tonight. All her doubts vanished. She ran out of the hotel as if mad. In the night rain, she ran to the cliff they had visited before. She knew her husband would go there to meet the woman. Soon she saw her husband waiting alone at the cliff edge. She tore off the gift necklace he had given her and threw it to the ground. Then without hesitation, rushed at him, pushing him off the cliff. Back at the hotel, he went straight into the bathroom.